Hello and welcome to Watch Releases Recap for the week of May 24th until May 31st. Let's begin with new Audemars Piguet Remaster 02. Between 1959 and 1963, Audemars Piguet released quite a few of these asymmetrical case designs. They weren't released in huge quantities, about 10 to 15 of each piece, and now AP is trying to sort of bring back some of these unique designs. Like, for example, this new design based on a 7-piece limited edition, reference 5159 BA from 1963. There are, of course, some changes between this and the original. Like, for example, the case size was increased. The original was about 27 millimeters across. This new version is about 41 millimeters across, which is more in line with the size of modern watches. The case is also made out of different material. The original was made out of 18 karat yellow gold. This new version is made out of a special gold blend, which is called sand gold. It's an 18 karat gold alloy that is sort of between rose gold and white gold in color. I haven't seen one of these in person yet, but I think just based on pictures, it does look quite unique. The dial is also quite unique. It features some gold accents, it features PVD coating, and of course that elongated design. I am not a huge fan of how this watch looks, to be fair. I think this watch is for someone who wears fancy pocket squares. That's the type of person I picture wearing a watch like this. And this one is also powered by an ultra-thin movement, caliber 7129. It's actually super impressive because this movement is an automatic caliber beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It has 52 hours of power reserve. It also features a 22 karat gold rotor. It's gold-plated movement, Geneva striping, just a beautiful movement to look at in general. And of course, as you would imagine, a limited edition watch with a super fancy movement. It's going to cost a ton. So it's limited to 250 pieces, and these watches are priced at about $50,000, about 47.5 to be exact. So quite expensive. Again, I'm not exactly the market for it. I'm not a huge fan of this design, but I know that some people are. The new Credor locomotive 50th anniversary edition. The name Genta should ring a bell if you are following watches for a while, because that's the creator or the designer of AP Royal Oak and Patek Philippe Nautilus, among many other iconic designs. Well, this Credor was actually designed by Genta back in 1970s, 1974 to be exact. Well, now on the 50th anniversary of this model, Credor is re-releasing this model with, again, modern updates, modern movement, and modern materials. First, a word on Credor as the brand. It is a higher-end version of Seiko. So Credor is under Seiko's umbrella. It is much more popular in Japan and in Asian countries than it is here in North America. I rarely see them, and when I do, it's usually from someone who's really into watches. These watches have amazing quality and sort of these maybe a little bit out of the box, a little bit more refined designs. In other words, not designs for everyone. Like this watch here, to me at least, it doesn't really appeal. It kind of looks like a weird pocket watch that was put on the strap. As far as the case, it's made out of titanium. It's their high intensity version of titanium, which from my understanding, Credor doesn't often use, but when they use it on their special models. The diameter is just under 39 millimeters, 38.8 to be exact. This one is an automatic watch, but it's still very thin, just under 9 millimeters in case height, which is super impressive. Now, these ones are powered by the new caliber. It's a caliber CR01. It's an in-house automatic movement, having 26 joules and beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour. This caliber also has 45 hours of power reserve. There is not much information on this caliber, but from my understanding, it's a variation of the L series caliber from Seiko. As far as the pricing and availability, this is a limited edition to 300 pieces, and these watches will be priced at $12,000 US. The new Richard Mille RM27-05 Flying Tourbillon Rafael Nadal edition. All right, before you fast forward, This watch here is actually pretty cool. So Richard Mille and Rafa have been partners for a long time, and to mark this 14 years of partnership, slash just to flex a little bit of their engineering muscle, Richard Mille has created this new flying tourbillon. And the reason why I wanted to highlight it in this video, because usually I don't talk about Richard Mille that often, is because of all the sort of cool engineering and features that went behind creating a watch like this. I really appreciate what they have done here, although this is a very expensive watch. So it's made out of carbon, and thus it's a very light watch. I think it weighs something like 14 or 15 grams without the strap, which is just incredibly light. It is a flying tourbillon with a manual wound movement, beating at 21,600 vibrations per hour, having 22 joules and 55 hours of power reserve. And all of that is housed in the case that's about 37.2 millimeters in case diameter and only 7.2 millimeters in case height. Sure, it's not an automatic movement, but it is a tourbillon movement. So I have no idea how they were able to cram all of that in such a thin profile. This watch also apparently can withstand some crazy G-forces because it's made to sort of withstand a whole tennis match, and Rafael Nadal is known for wearing their Richard Mille watches during tennis matches. So it's just incredible amount of engineering, and as you would imagine, all that engineering comes at a cost. So this watch is limited to 80 pieces and it's priced at $1.15 million. Let me repeat that again, $1,150,000. Yeah, crazy number. But at the same time, at least with this watch, I can kind of see it. I mean, obviously not this insane price tag. That price tag is just, it's fugazi. But I can sort of see why this watch is so expensive because of all that engineering that has to go behind it. The new IWC Lume technology. Apparently Lewis Hamilton was spotted during Monaco Grand Prix wearing one of these chronograph watches that is made out of fully loomed case with a fully loomed strap and a fully loomed dial. A few months ago, I covered a watch from Bell & Ross that had a very similar effect, and I think in general these watches are kind of cool. At least it's something different. And especially for a brand like IWC, I think they need to create a watch like this. They need to start grabbing some headlines because I'm afraid that they're kind of falling behind and no one is really talking about IWC all that much. So maybe creating watches like this, it will bring some attention. Now, this watch hasn't been officially released. We don't have too much information about it other than some press photos and the fact that it's coming in the future, so I'll talk more about it when it's actually officially released. AP also has some technology of their own. They revealed their new polychrome camouflage gold alloy. So again, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because it's not an official watch release. It's just something that AP has recently showed the press, and it's the fact that they can sort of combine two different metals, in this case white gold and yellow gold, or white gold and rose gold, to create this sort of camouflage look with the bracelet, with the dial, and with the case. I think the effect is actually kind of neat. Again, this is not for me. I'm not the customer for this. I wouldn't really want a camouflage watch in the first place, but especially this sort of weird two-tone gold camouflage is just too much. At the same time, at least it's something. At least it's something different from AP. I mean, sure, it's on the Royal Oak, but hey, they're trying. So good job. And once again, once the watch is officially released, I'll cover it in the future episode. And lastly, let's talk about the new release from G-Shock Gravity Master GR-B300. G-Shocks are not known for their subtlety. What's the opposite of subtle? I guess loud. These are very loud watches. But even for a G-Shock, this watch is especially loud. It's sort of their take on a pilot style watch. That's why it's called the Gravity Master. It's made out of resin, so it's a very tough, durable watch. It comes with 200 meters of water resistance, some solar power, and multiple timers, dual watch, stopwatch, alarm, LED background light, day date indicator. Plus you can connect it to the Casio app and then it will track some of your flights I mean, you press a button on a watch and then you use the app to sort of track the flight, and it will give you that information. Plus you can set the automatic time zone adjustment using the app once again, and it's connected with the Bluetooth to your phone. So I guess those things are kind of cool. And the watch is also not too expensive. This one is $300, which is sort of on a higher end price as far as G-Shock goes, but not crazy. Like last week we talked about that $6,000 G-Shock. So this watch here is at least being, I think, a bit more reasonable. Now, just like many watches on this list, it's not specifically for me. I think it's just too much. It's very busy, even a little hard to read, which in my opinion kind of defeats the purpose of a pilot's watch. The whole purpose of a pilot's watch for it to be very easy to read at a first glance, versus a watch like this is very busy, so it actually does the opposite. But hey, nevertheless, it's a new G-Shock, and I know that there's a lot of G-Shock fandom out there. And that's it for this week's releases. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this week's releases, what stood out to you, what you liked, what you didn't like. I apologize for not replying to comments right away for the last couple of weeks. It's just been very busy with my day job, but now I think I'm all caught up, so I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.